The engine is starting up. 3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us?
Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Sensitive/offensive content disclaimer. Please note that this podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Good evening, travelers and those alike. Welcome to the Orion Effect right here on the RNN, the R.I.F.T Nation Network. Tonight's show is brought to you by Boo's Paranormal Equipment, the best price for the best equipment for the best person, and GOS, Ghost of Stanton, Virginia. Go check it out now. They've got a seasonal tour going on, and then they'll take a little break and get right back into it in 2025. We want to thank Marty and the gang there for your years of supporting this show and this network. I am the quintessential social media hitman himself.
And I am Rhonda Harris.
The woman with the plan.
Sometimes. I like to wing it quite a bit.
Okay, winging is good.
I like to fly by the seat of my pants a little bit.
It's good. We got a lot to talk about before we bring on our special guest. Man, there's so much going on. I want to say hello to our newest traveler. Christina is in the house.
Hello, hello.
I met a lot of new people today at the
I
um,
forgot that was today. I would have met you up there.
man, did I have a good time. I was supposed to have met Brett there, but she's under the weather. Kenny's under the weather. So I was like, you know what? I'm still going. And I went, and I'm so thankful I did. Had such a great time. I met some really wonderful people, as you can see, local people that, you know, we think about the paranormal on my end, but I don't think about the spiritual. And there was a lot of spiritual people at this flea market today, and they were so nice and so it
See,
was different. It was better than Odd and Oddities by far. And I was
nice.
great. I said to Christina, better than Odd and Oddities. And like I said, I met some new friends, Jacob, Joe, all these new travelers and people that are checking us out now. So, what an interesting weekend it has been to lead into this wonderful show tonight.
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to hand it on over to you. Then we'll get into news. Then we'll do our hit list. And then we're going to break open the paranormal.
All right. Hello, Ashley Herndon and Christina Templin and Linda Nelson and Michelle Klecker Keps and Heidi Gold and Lois Clark. And we see there's plenty more of y'all in there. Thank you for joining us. This is going to be an awesome show.
Oh,
And Keith Ottersburg, he
there
saw
it
the
is.
top in.
Yes. Again, I've got to say hello to everybody that may be tuning in from the punk flea market. Mad love to you guys. Mad love. There's a few other things. We got a special birthday announcement tonight.
The Lizard King.
No, but that's coming. Good call on that one. You know, he could be like the modern Lizard King. No, our show is brought to you tonight also musically by Traffic Experiment over in the UK. What a wonderful group that allowed us to use their version. I'm not going to say it on air what it is because we're not going to get in trouble. Mad props to Traffic Experiment and to our brother from another mother, for the man who gives us the sound, the music of this network. Happy, huge RNN Traveler's birthday to Jacob Lazzotti. Oh, what we are so thankful and happy to have him on board with us. Him at the Dark Cabin Productions, getting it out there. That's right, folks. Know it. If you don't know Jacob, go on YouTube, check out his Dark Cabin Productions. He does amazing copyright. Well, not all of it's copyright free. You got to get permission from him because we've had a lot of problems in the last 6 weeks as people are trying to steal his music again. But he has
That's something about it if people are trying to steal it, right?
exactly, yeah.
Don't steal it yourself if you're good.
They think they're going to get revenue through us for us playing the music. We don't get any revenue. We get zero revenue. We are honestly promoting Jacob just by him allowing us to use the music. He gets all the mad props. So if you think you're getting revenue off of us, you're hitting a dry well. Too bad. So sad for you. Yes. I know there's a lot being said in chat. I'm going to let you go back to that. And I'm going to get ready for the hit list.
All right. So Heidi said, at the moment, I'm walking around Denver's Botanical Gardens holiday lights, and it's very loud. Sorry, going to have to catch the replay. Well, enjoy your time in the Botanical Gardens. That sounds
You
wonderful.
took us with you.
Yeah.
Shaw.
Hey, Renee, Cody.
Cody in the house.
Yes.
Yes. Now you said it just a minute ago. We definitely want to give a happy birthday shout out heavenly to the Lizard King himself. Jim Morrison's birthday is today. Giving props to the man, the Lizard King. Yes. Now you know what time it is. It's that time. That's right. It's that time for the hit list. We're going to make it quick and make it fast, giving all the shout outs to everybody that needs and deserves. Tina Brooke, Tabitha Meadows, Carrie Lynn Shellhorn, Laura Lee Potovin, Christina Spencer, Cindy Waghorn, Renee Cody, of course, Keith Ottersburg, of course, Chris Fox Roden, how we miss our girl, Kristen Coleman, Terrence B., where you been? Haven't seen you. Mama D Downs, we'll see her. Sarah Rage, Robert White, where's our brother from down my other? And special thanks going out to our network affiliations, to the UPRN, which is, of course, Carrie Lynn and Laura and David and Michelle and we keep going. All those wonderful people over there. Amelia, don't forget, I didn't lose you. And Joe, we know you created it. Mad props to Joe Montana, boy. All right. Also to the Things Network, that would be Nick and Jeremy and all of them over there. Hello, hello, hello. And Freaking Awesome Paranormal Show. That's on your half right there. Also to Giovanna Maria. Can't wait to talk to you very soon. To our groups, Everything Paranormal Worldwide, Whispers of the Past Paranormal, Everything Paranormal Share, Haunted West Midlands. There will not be a cup of soup tonight. No paranormal soup tonight. Catch them next Sunday. Want to make sure that's noted out there. Paranormal Photography, Haunted History and Horror, Christina's crew. Places, Ghosts and Stories, Paranormal Advertising Group, Fox Family in the house, Fox Family advertisement, Paranormal University, podcasts, share podcasts, promote and podcast unlimited, everything paranormal, paranormal events and promotions, podcast, video cast promotions, paranormal promotions page for events, page and shows, and podcast around the world. And that's your hit list for tonight.
And hello, Michael Brooks and Ryan C. Jones. We just saw you jump in. Hello,
there
hello.
it is. Hello, hello, man. Let me tell you what. We're going to continue this role, and then we're going to bring on our special guest. 2025 is going to be a game changer for a lot of things, for a lot of people, especially for this network. See what goes down. It's going to get, it may even get a little freaky. What? We will see what happens.
You never know what freaky people are going to do.
Yeah, you freaks. You freaks over there. Yeah, that freaky hut of y'all's, you know. There he is. There he is. Things Network. Robert White in the house. Our brother from another mother. Cha-cha. Now, I'm okay. Yes, I'm excited about 2025. So are we. Oh my God. Oh my God. I feel like the groundhog. So I'm going to switch off of this one real quick because here in just a moment, we're going to bring on our special guest. Now, this amazing lady has been going through the paranormal. She is a true paranormal experiencer. She lives with it every day. She came to us and she is a traveler. She came to us and wanted to share her story, past, present, and who knows about the future. It is the paranormal things happen. And in that, tonight, we're gonna see what's going on with her. Maybe we'll be able to help you. We're going to provide some video for you guys to give your input. Remember to be nice. Remember, you're not there. So be respectful about any of your comments. You know how this goes. It's comments. Give your opinion. Don't try to state what it is because you're not there. That's the way I look at it. You know, we've already talked to her about it. Let her know if you ask us, we're coming from the paranormal and the spiritual points. I will give you what I can. That doesn't mean it is, but it is my opinion and insight. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Before I go any further, Rhonda, do we have anything else?
Nothing in the chat. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's get it on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages, allow us to introduce you to the most amazing, wonderful, and spectacular woman. Her name is Michelle Wilfong, and she is here on the Orion Effect. Welcome to the show.
Everyone. Hello.
Great to see you.
Hello.
Oh, thank you so much.
How are you tonight?
I'm great. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we finally got you here. Now we get to talk to you. Now, we've been listening and speaking with you for the last year, your experiences and everything going on. And I'm going right for the hip. I'm pulling the paranormal shotgun out. Click, click. Let's get ready to roll. Tell us about the past, what you've experienced up to this point, and why did you want to bring it to the public now?
Okay. I was born in Portland, Oregon. I currently live in Milwaukie, Oregon. It's a suburb of Portland, a bigger city. And I really didn't fully believe in paranormal until I moved here in January 2022. As a kid, I experienced paranormal one time at my aunt's house in a farmhouse in Iowa. A man that used to live there, him and his donkey appeared in the living room to me and my sister. We went and got my
Oh,
aunt to show her, and her eyes got real big, and she seen it too. So I really didn't have a lot of experiences, but I've had some tragedy that's gone on in my life. I was also addicted and not in a good place for a long time. So I've had some pretty gnarly experiences with life, and I had an opportunity to move to Milwaukee. I was living further away from Portland and I wanted to move closer. So I found this 2 bedroom or 1 bedroom apartment. I came and looked at it, and I felt like I'd been here before. When I looked at the apartment, I was like, great, it's great. I'll take it. So I moved in, and the first night I was so uncomfortable and I didn't know why. And so when I started putting stuff away, I hung up my mom's rosary on the thermostat. It's like a square thermostat, has a little ledge. So I hung my mom's rosary, my aunt's rosary on the thermostat. And I turned around to grab something else and it hit the ground. And I was like, that's weird. Did my sweater catch it? What happened? Hung it back up, and I was like, yeah, that can't happen. I don't know what's going on there. So that happened. And at that time, I didn't have cameras. So I wasn't able to pick anything up. The next thing that happened, about 3 nights later, I'm sleeping in bed and something whistled over my head. So I open my eyes and I look at my dog, and her head's up and ears are up looking around. So not only I heard it, my dog heard it.
yeah.
So at that point, I'm like, there's something weird. So I'm asking neighbors, hey, anything weird happened here? And no one could really verify anything. Just, yeah, it's kind of creepy, but, no one really knew anything. So after some other weird stuff happened, I said, that's it. I'm going to get cameras. And my first capture should be the first video.
Okay.
I'm walking in the screen door and something like 4 feet long flies past my head. And I
Oh,
was like, what is that?
yeah.
So I'm thinking the camera has a glitch. So I take the camera and I go back to Best Buy and I said, hey, watch this video. Is there something wrong with the camera? And the guy looks at me and he goes, lady, it's not the camera. And I'm like, oh, okay. During the pandemic, everyone streamed everything. So I watched, all of the big name, ghost shows like Tiger, all that stuff during the pandemic. So I streamed just about everything. But, I wanted to believe in it, but I wasn't 100% sure, like, could that really happen?
Right.
And yeah, so I got cameras and started filming, and sure enough, there's activity here. I'm starting to catch more voices and asking more questions. But yeah, it's been a bit confusing coming in from the ground floor and trying to learn all this stuff. It's been a little tough. I'll say it's been a journey.
Well, that's what we hope to dive into tonight. And you may find myself back in a little bit because this is where I kind of step back and let Rhonda kind of get in there, put her fingers in the jelly brain and see what she can experience too. Because it's not all paranormal. Sometimes it's spiritual. And this is where my sister from another mother jumps in and goes, let's go this way. And I go that way. So tonight's going to be really fun. Um,
I I believe it is spiritual too. Yeah. I also want to mention that my husband passed away in 2009, and I do have his ashes in my bedroom closet.
well, let me ask
So,
you this. Did he pass away in the apartment?
no,
Okay.
no, he passed away at another address.
Okay.
And other than the first time you stayed there, where you said you felt like weird there, like has it made you uncomfortable at all this activity, or is it just kind of Oh, it's just them. Has anything about it made you uncomfortable?
No, just annoying. Before I had cameras, I was sitting in my recliner and something brushed through the back of my hair and spun around the room. When it went through the television, it left a zigzag pattern like a heart monitor. And I was like, did that just happen? So you're sitting there questioning yourself, like, did that happen? But it was a gold orange orb and it was spinning so fast I could see it spinning as it moved. And it was great. And I was like, I got to get cameras. There's something going on here.
I got to
So
get the notebook. We got to take notes.
Yeah.
There will be a lot of questions. This isn't going to be the only episode. Continue. Parodoctor.
but not really it didn't make me afraid. I was uncomfortable and startled, but never one time I had a frightening experience, and that was before I learned how to ground and protect myself. And thanks to Lorelei, she Potvin, she's the one that really helped me out by sending me some videos. And you know so I was coming from the shower, walked through the hallway, stepped into the living room. At that time, I had a dog. I'd lost my dog in July. She was 14 years old. Had nothing to do with this place. It was the dog was old, but I still had my dog at that time, and my dog had been uncomfortable since I moved here. You know, so I walked down the hallway. I get almost to the sofa, and something growls at me, and I'm looking to see if is that my dog growling? And I'm looking and it's not her. And I'm like, you can't growl at me. This is my house. I will not tolerate. So I heard it thump, thump, jump off the couch with four legs, like, thump, thump, scurried into my dining room. And it turned one more time and growled again. When it growled the second time, it growled so loud, it made the floor shake. And after that, I got to learn how to ground, and I was saging and getting crystals and praying, mostly praying, open Bibles in every room, doing anything I could to protect myself. I will say 100% the saging and grounding and praying, it really helps. And I feel like it keeps me protected. Um, so I think that there's something connected here to the property somehow. Um, and me coming in here, maybe having a little insight, it just said, oh, she can see us, she can hear us. So they are like, hey, what are you doing there? I really don't know, unless it'd be past loved ones trying to get my attention. I don't I imagine I have some evil around me from the lifestyle that I led. I've been sober since 2016. So I have a little bit of time, no hard drugs. And yeah, so I do believe there's some evil in my life that can creep up at any time. So I feel like that's why I stay so guarded and pray. And I do have strong faith. Ever since I started my sober journey, my faith opened up 100%.
I'm going to jump in and I'm going to hand it on over to Rhonda because, man, you've already given us so much. It's like, and I want to let everybody know, you don't usually see me do this on the show. I have my notebook and I have my pen. I'm taking notes. If I'm looking down, I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm actually paying a lot of attention comparatively to me just running my freaking mouth. So this is going to be, hey, what's up, show? Welcome. And Kristen, we didn't miss you. We were just in the middle of discussion, as everybody knows. If you ask your just what, slow down, Howie. If you ask your question,
He's excited.
I am. If we ask your question, we'll make sure to pop it up and make sure you're known, you guys. And please, we will get to them. Even if we just have to flash it up, and we'll use it as a question. Okay, so you've already hit on a lot of paranormal scientific things that I'm going to be talking and asking about. But what I'm going to ask now, and then I will just hand it over because I see that look on her face. Is did you bring anything with you from the other home that may have encouraged this activity at this location now? And I love the fact that you're so honest. Thank you. Because as client, if you were my client, I'd be all over you sitting there and asking more and more questions because you will not believe how hard it is to get a client to be completely honest. And with you telling us everything, this is amazing.
Yeah, well, I feel like yeah, you have to be honest in this type of thing. I have nothing to hide. I am not ashamed of what I did. I've been forgiven. So I'm okay to move forward. Um the only thing I can think of, I bought some new furniture probably 2 years before I moved in here. So the regular furniture was okay, but the TV, big TV in my living room that has tons of activity, my dad gave me before he passed away.
Okay.
So the TV was my dad's, and I get a lot of activity. I have videos of orbs coming through the wall, through the back of the TV, and out, and then the other way. So there's a lot of activity around the television and the closet. As you walk in the front door, there's like a coat closet,
Right.
and those places are really busy with energy. And I've also caught ghost dogs barking on video,
We
to
got that.
mention
Yeah.
the dog thing again. When that dog growled at me, I kind of felt like it was a pet that was treated badly in life. I wasn't really afraid of it. I just said, "You can't growl at me." And I
Yeah.
would say that if the dog was here in person, because that's what I do. I'm gentle, but I would be stern enough. You can't growl at me, you know?
Good
And
for
that's
you.
just what it was. I stood
Putting
my
boundaries
ground,
in. Yes.
uh, watching and learning from other people. You cannot let fear, and then I have a strong faith that God's going to protect me. I really do.
That's amazing.
But another little story with the ghost dog. Now I'm in sixplex, and they're all one level, like a little ranch with a courtyard type
Oh
thing.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I know what kind you're talking about. Yeah, we have
I'm
two
in
in Richmond.
I'm in apartment 1, and I have a neighbor in apartment 5. So when she moved here, she had these strong odors that were coming from like underneath her apartment. So the landlord came out, and sure enough, pets and other animals were getting underneath the crawl space there, and then they couldn't get out. It's like they got
Mhm.
in, and the flap closed, and they couldn't get out. So there were some skeletons and things underneath her apartment. So I
Oh,
kind of thought
so there
for a while
is.
that might be why I catch dogs barking. When I first moved here, no one had dogs except for me. I was the only one that had a dog. So I made sure I zoomed in on my dog in one of the videos that I sent you so you can see my dog's not barking, but she would get uncomfortable when these things would bark. Um, she was just My dog did not like the activity at all. My cat, on the other hand, he loves it. This activity, it doesn't bother him a bit.
Oh, so you
He
do
comes
have
out,
cats.
yeah, dog
Okay.
and a cat. The cat will come out in the middle of the night and click the motion on, and it'll film him for hours just playing around with whatever's going on out here. It's like they have a party while I'm sleeping. But but I have some great videos with the cat and orbs and things playing around. It's pretty cool.
We're gonna get that in just a minute. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna kind of ease myself down a little bit. I'm gonna dethrottle, and I'm gonna hand it over to the missus and let her take control for a little while. And then we'll bring some videos to play.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that popped in my head, or that I felt when you said that dog was growling at you, I feel like that dog lived there at some point. It either visited there or it lived there, and it thinks it's its house. It thinks you're the stranger there. It's like, what are you doing in my house? Um, but it doesn't feel off or anything of that nature. I would say too, you kind of said you feel like you've got some dark stuff around you from your past, and I don't feel like you do. I don't feel like you do, because I feel like you've let that go. You've made amends for that. You've been forgiven for that. I think as long as you don't think about it, it's not there. I do believe that if you focus on it some, I believe you can manifest it to kind of appear, but I don't think it's there.
Oh,
You
that's
have a
good.
pretty bright light around you. I don't see that at all.
No, and Rhonda, I am going to step up to you again a little bit here and go. At this point, are you feeling or picking up anything? Because Christina just say they dance behind the TV a lot, and thank you for that input, Christina. At this present time, are you
I've
picking
been
up?
paying attention, so I've been trying to like focus every once in a while, but so far, no.
Okay.
But I did feel like before you even said that, the TV was your dad's, I felt like there was a male figure hanging around some. And, I think a TV would be, especially an older TV, depending on how old it is, would be one that would be one they try to draw energy from quite a bit.
Hmm. There you go.
Yeah.
Our brother from another mother states, what I was getting with the first camera issue was a ghost snake flying by. And you know what? We're going to bring that up in just a second once Rhonda's, done with her preliminary.
I think that's all I've got right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Michelle, you just talked about it. What we'll do is we're going to bring up that first video. We'll share it out and we'll see what we get. We'll see what we get. Let's bring that on up, folks. Dun, dun, dun. Here it is.
That's a good boy. Yeah.
I slowed it down right there so you can
What
see it.
in the
Yeah, it like flew out when I was walking in. And that was my very first capture. So that's when I took the camera back. I was like, hey, Best Buy, what's wrong with the camera? They're going, ladies, there's nothing wrong with the camera. So I was pretty freaked out at that point. Like, what in the world is that?
Oh, and it zooms back. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay, so it goes this way and then shoots back down. Very cool.
anyway, it was a spider web.
This is where I jump in. Okay.
That was big though.
Okay, that was big.
Yeah, because you can see the size of my head walking by, and it was almost as white as my head. So, yeah, crazy, huh?
That's actually really good, but I'm gonna jump in here now. Oh, good Lord, I didn't want that. Us together, not me, yes, sir. Christina says, "Amen." That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so Robert says ghost snake. Interesting. Rhonda did make a valid point. Now, with being in the paranormal and doing the research that I have for so long, this is not an ego statement. This is a possibility. I'm not going to tell you this is what it is because I'm not there.
Right.
I will give you my opinion and everything I see, and you can take it for what it is, unless I was on site and actually doing an investigation. Looking at this, at first, I'm thinking exactly what Rhonda just said. I'm thinking it's a spider web. What happens is the light and the IR will reflect on the spider web and give it like a slash up. What gets me, however, is if you see in the video, it comes back down further away and shoots back away. That was interesting. Could that have been reflection? Could have been reflection. Could it be paranormal? Yes, it could be paranormal. Nothing I will say tonight will be definite. I will just give you, and the travelers will give you. I'm gonna
say I see light.
I'm gonna say, you know what? This is interesting because it is possible because something she said at the very beginning when we all started talking.
The orange and gold ball of light. That was the first thing I thought.
Faye. I'm thinking possibly Faye. Now, I'm not saying it is, but Christina, I'm kind of going to agree that there is a possible Faye situation going on. We'll see how the rest of the show progresses and where we can get to it.
What I will say, if that was a ghost snake, I would not want to be in that apartment when there was that would have been happening. There have been snakes flying through the air, dropping on people. That'd be my nightmare. That'd be my nightmare.
So we had this incident, and then I'm going to take it, Michelle. Things started building up after this point. Is that correct?
Correct.
Wow, Rhonda. All right, I got to ask some more questions. So we're talking about the TV. Here we go. We're going to step
Mhm.
back into my world a little bit here. We're talking about the TV. Has anything else been affected other than the TV, such as computers, lights flickering, water turning on and off by itself, cabinets opening, unusual smells, anything of the sort?
Yes. Unusual smells. Um, Old Spice, like what cologne my dad would wear. Um, Moldy smells, which I think are probably the pets, and the closet door. One night I was asleep before I got cameras, and I heard like the front door. I thought the front door was kicked in or something, and I came out to the living room, and the closet door was wide open.
Okay,
So it had opened and bounced against the front door.
so
So
you
he
do have
opened it.
poltergeist
So you
activity.
have to close the front door to open the closet type thing.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, it latches. There's no way a draft or anything could have opened that door. So I was like, okay, I won't close it anymore. I'll just, leave it ajar so I won't latch it anymore. So that kind of helped with that problem. The second thing is, I had a new car, that had 5,000 miles on it, and go to start it one day. Boom. It says call service department, blah, blah, blah. I take it in and they tell me it needs a new brain. It's shorted out. And I'm like, oh my God, how did it short out? You know? And I didn't want to tell them. And I'm wondering, because I had things flying over my car, could paranormal activity, done that to the car? And they checked, they don't have any other cars with this is not a problem with that year and model of car. They don't know what happened, but it was under warranty and they did fix the car. But in the back of my head, I'm thinking it was paranormal activity. And you can't tell people that stuff, they'll think you're crazy.
No, and you do
So,
have to be
Right.
careful thinking that because
right?
you could manifest that issue. So
Exactly.
something's
So
not there when you think
when
about it.
I did get my car home, I saged it and I used some crystals and I have an open Bible in the glove box. And
Good
ever
for
since then,
you.
it's been fine.
Well, you're
So
getting all the columns tonight. You're
problem.
keeping it in check.
Have you ever with the TV? I found the TV interesting. I feel like the TV is your dad. Like just because I feel like he's using it to manipulate things, except for that golden orange light. That makes me think Faye. But have you ever let the TV sit at like a place where it's like just doing white noise or static and seeing if you could hear or pick up on anything?
Yes, and it makes really weird noises. I can't really understand what it says, but I have heard weird noises, and you'll see the zigzag like static going through it, where they're really it should just be snowy,
Right.
but like so I've always wondered, is it the plugins? So I've checked the plugins and I got the surge protector and everything to make sure, look, it's plugged in, it's safe, it's not the plug-in. I even had the landlord at one point come and check the plugins, and it's not the plugins. It's yeah, whatever goes on here. But I had a horrible time with the internet for a long time, and just getting the TV will just click off, time to go off. So I'm like, oh gee, thanks. I didn't have the sleep timer on, but it'll just turn off. Okay. So I finally, when I sage and sort of ground and protect, I add the TV and the Wi-Fi box with that and it's helped settle it down some. And then back to the weird smells. When I first moved here, there was a lot of flies. There were so many flies. I had 3 fly strips
Ooh.
outside the front door. And I couldn't figure out, well, I was thinking maybe it's because it's all grown over and icky outside, and so I did a lot of cleaning and a lot of cleaning up outside. And that did help with the flies, but they didn't go away until the first time I saged. The first time that I saged, it smelled like roses when I was finished.
Wow.
So I have my do not disturb on. I
I
don't know
saw
when
that
it's
look.
coming through. I hate when that happens. But yeah, it smelled like roses the very first time I saged. And I was like, that is so weird. Like, how did it do that? But it was great. It felt good and it felt lighter in here. And then from that point on, yeah, things just kept progressing.
You gave us some spiritual pot. That's what you did. Uh,
Yeah.
let me get here real quick, and I saw Rhonda's face, so I'm going to let her go ahead and I can help
No,
see you. It's all
no,
good.
no, I really didn't. No, it was. I don't. It wasn't about anything. The only thing I pick up on that is it feels like because that, like when you cleaned up and that happened, that was something that whatever you're dealing with there wanted to happen. They
Yeah.
wanted it cleaned up and organized.
You know, Rhonda, the other thing I'm noticing with her, she's actually working with the spirits and the entities there. She's not forcing them, she's not telling them, she's not giving them
Yeah,
restriction, which is really good. This is something when I tell my clients all the time. Sometimes the problem is not the client, it's the spirit, and vice versa. So
right.
good job, Michelle. Robert sits here and goes, microwaves can sometimes be a form of partial partial portals in that case that has been activating by itself too. Yes. Yes, man, I am really excited. Good God, I got to keep myself in check tonight. I want to say hello to the enforcer. Hey, great. Thank you for showing up tonight. Let's pop in and get our travelers in the house. The show is here. All right. When I was a kid, about 6 or 7, I would float up to my bedroom ceiling at night. It was scary. I call out to my mom, but I had no voice. No one believed me. So one night I scratched a cross on the wallpaper. Holy crap.
You were astro projecting.
You were totally astro projecting, show. Check you out, brother. On the ceiling when I was pressed against it in the following morning and scratched across on the ceiling power. I'm 57 now. You know what, Rhonda? I agree with you.
Yeah.
would say
I think
that's
it
some,
was a child and you didn't understand what was happening. So it was frightful. And a lot of people that astro project say when they wake up, they can't talk. It's like sleep paralysis. They can't move, they can't talk, they can't do anything.
and there's also sleepwalkers that
Mhm.
move in your dreams, and it's not the same. It's really not, you guys. Sleepwalker is someone who can actually move a date on another dimension in their sleep. It's not the same as uh, what we're talking about. But it's really interesting because if you're sleepwalking and traveling, oh, like it, you're not going to be able to physically affect anything in this world where, like Rhonda was talking about, you're physically affected something. That's really cool. Um,
Right.
you know, Michelle, there's a couple things. First of all, I'm starting to wonder, you are working with the spirits, they're interacting. Have you heard any positive statements, voices, anything positive said to you while you're there this period of time?
I get a lot of yes. The other day I had one that said, I asked, can you hear me? And it said, yes, I could.
Nice.
So I also have one that says, I love you, but no one else can really hear it. But I have a couple of them I can't understand. A lot of it's mumbling and really hard to understand.
Yeah, and the
But
question that I have, because you've been working with them so much, like you've been pretty open and kind of letting them have their space, but have you set any kind of boundaries for with them? Like, okay, I get you're here, but don't come in the bathroom when I'm in there, or don't wake me up when I'm asleep. Have you set those kind of rules with them?
yes, that
Nice.
was hard to do. That was really hard to learn how to do that. But it's been much better since I have. And it is creepy. You don't want someone watching you while you're in the bathroom. And so I
Or
have to tell
sleeping,
them,
or you're
yeah.
trying to go to sleep and you feel like they're looking at you. No.
Well, and they're thumping and bumping in the living room while I'm in the bedroom, and they play with the cat. So I ask them, you got to keep it down because I can. Sometimes you'll hear like snap, crackle, pop, and it could be the building settling. I don't know, but the camera catches it too. So I'm hearing it, and the camera verifies that.
And we're going
So
to show that in just a minute. Yeah, we're going to.
right. So it could be the place settling. It's an older place, sure. There's a lot of things. But yeah, I keep an open mind because I would like all of it not to be true, but there's a part of me like this is so amazing. Like it is so
Right.
amazing.
Like we go sit in rooms in the dark for hours waiting for what you've got there.
Right?
Talking to ourselves for hours. You luckily got some that don't seem like they're angry or anything like that, other than the dog. But I think that was more of a "why are you in my house" kind of thing,
Now, Rhonda, could
Yeah,
she have
I
passers?
kind of feel that.
huh?
Could she have passer throughers, travelers coming through? Um, could
I'd
this
like to see some more of the evidence first because I'm not really sure. I'm not
Okay.
really sure.
Hey, Sue.
It does feel like most things are just wanting to coexist and glad somebody can hear and see them is what it
There you
feels
go.
like. But I think if I saw more, I'd understand if it was a pass or through because it seems like a lot of what you get is the same kind of thing. All like you're not. Are you getting a lot of things that haven't happened before that you're not used to it happening, or is that just really random? Like what
That's
I
really random.
see, that makes me feel like it's something residual or something that's staying there because I feel like passers through kind of give you things you don't ever get before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a different kind of fashion. You know what
That's
I
why I
mean?
was asking. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I was like, is there a feeling possible? Because I'm not hearing it either, but I had to ask to see if you were picking up anything. I feel like everything is there. It's grounded in this area, and I agree with you on that one. That's why I was asking if the computers ever been affected. Have you ever had the blinking lights? Because a lot of times, this is what led me away from poltergeist. I was hearing poltergeist activity at first, but a lot of times when you have poltergeist activity as well, you'll get a lot of blinking lights. The water will have a particular smell at times. Not going demonic. Don't go there, you guys. But you'll find that you'll have a problem starting and closing your computer. You'll be missing programs because the energy is affecting your hard drive, and that happens a lot. The TV that intrigues me. Uh,
Hmm.
that led me to a possible poltergeist, but this is not something that I'm going to say poltergeist. This is something more different. I think it's more personal. I agree with you, Rhonda. Right now, I think it's more personal. So,
And it did affect the other electronic it affected was the Shark RoboVac. It's the older one that doesn't have a mapping system, but
ah,
it will dock itself. And literally, I'd be asleep 3 o'clock in the morning, and the RoboVac's going off, and I'm like, "Why is that thing on?" And it
thank
happened.
you.
Yeah, and it
That's
happened a
interesting.
couple of times. And I've also felt ghost dogs or pets jump in bed with me. They could be
Yeah.
cats too. I don't know.
Have
But
you
I'll
ever
be
been,
sleeping and you literally hear thud next to you. My
oh,
son stayed here and he had an experience where he said, "Mom, is the dog and cat with you?" I said, "Yeah, why?" He said, "Something just jumped on the cot with me. Something's
Yeah.
out here in the living room." And
this is
I was like, "Oh,
intriguing.
yeah."
Now I know why you went to lore. This would be something her and Julie would really be experiencing. This is interesting because here we go talking about spirits of pets or of animals.
Yep.
Now that makes a lot of sense with the RoboVac being messed with because if their energy can turn it on and off, you know what?
I
Try
mean,
this.
RoboVac reminds me the way they were. It's almost like a REM pod.
Exactly. Thank you. Yep. Exactly. You're beating me to the punch. Uh, Michelle, try this. Get you some general toys. You can go to Dollar Tree, wherever. Get some battery operated toys and just set them around the living room and start documenting. If those go off, let someone who's working with you know. That's going to be a very good thing. Also, do you have a Gauss meter, a multimeter, or a K2? Or has
Yeah,
anyone ever?
I have the Rook, and
Okay.
it's EMF, and it works because I've seen it solid red the whole time I've been filming, and I was like, I think it's broken. My son goes, "No, it isn't," because he walked around everywhere, and he goes, "Look, it lights up around outlets," and light switches, but not over here. He goes, it works fine. If it was solid
Beautiful.
red, you probably had activity, Mom.
Oh my
So
God, this
I was
is
like,
exciting.
okay, it's not broken.
You got
But
to tune
yeah,
into my
so
personal gate.
yeah, I'm not an investigator. I'm new to all this. So I do have a Oculus, is that or
Fabulous.
Ovulus,
Yeah. Okay.
whatever it's called. And I do get some interesting stuff on there.
Yeah, be
One time
careful about encouraging.
a car drove by and I said for the video, that was a car. And the Ovulus said a Tesla. So it knew it was an electric car.
There
How
it
it did
is.
that, I don't know, but it was pretty crazy that it knew because you could
I'm-
hear the engine whining, the
Yeah.
difference between an electric car and a gas car. So I
Well,
thought that was pretty interesting that they knew it was a Tesla that
I want to
drove
say
by.
this. I'm not going to encourage you to encourage them to interact with you. Okay. But we don't want that's a sometimes could blow up in your face when you start investigating your own home. Interacting
Right.
is one thing, but don't encourage it, if that makes sense. Robert White, one friend over in Colorado, calls her place the Union Station of the paranormal, so it can happen. They just pass through. Well, I get that one.
Yeah.
And Susan hits, don't like it when spirits climb into my bed. Oh, well, you know what? It's freaky. It's weird. It's a weird freaky. It is a weird freaky.
But like I had one. Mine started with a pet that passed away, and when
Mhm.
it first happened, it wasn't weird. What was weird is like knowing that I no longer had the cat that would get in the bed, crawl right behind my knees every night, and like I felt it. I felt it lay down behind my knees, and I kind of went to wiggle, and I felt it move again. And wait, I looked, and I was like, wait a minute, I don't have a cat. So and now, I have a cat and a dog that both sleep with me. And I still get, I felt like something jump on the bed and not sure if it was the dog or the cat and looked and it's neither one of them. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
But
There we
so the
go.
pets to me have always been kind of comforting because I actually feel the warmth of something laying there.
There you go.
But I think if it was a person, I'd feel differently.
Yeah,
Love it.
so
A little
too.
bit different. Like, move along, please.
Well, let's go to the next video. And we're at 10 minutes till. So this is what
Okay.
I'm going to ask. Michelle, can we bring you back in January?
Yes, definitely.
Love to have you. We're going to continue this. We'll make it one of our own little special episodes to keep people informed, and you'll be our special little paranormal project.
Sounds good to me.
Cool. Well, let's get to the next video so people can see it.
Okay.
If you want to go ahead and give the prompt to this one.
This video, there are ghost dogs barking. I zoom in on my dog, and at the end, a voice comes through and says, "I can see you." Yeah, so I'm
I just got
asking
chills.
them.
So turn it up, folks. Turn it up loud. Here we go.
Unhuman and spirit and ghost and dog and cat and creature and alien. Did you own alien?
Look at your dog.
You're an alien? Did you own? Yeah, so she did not like the activity.
Not at all. Wow. That's
Well, you
intense.
can see the dog like that was wild.
Yeah.
And that was loud. That would almost
And I
sound like you
have-
have keep pets next door to you, and you said you have no neighbors with pets. Like that was
No.
loud.
Right. And I have a couple of them barking. One, I
Yeah.
came home on Christmas Day after visiting my son, and the alert, I was in the bedroom changing, the alert in the living room went off. I go, that's weird. Nothing should be moving out here. I walk out here and there's a sparkly orb going around and then just going like a dog happy and running around the room. And there's barking. And my dog's not barking, and she's kind of, cowered down. Like she
can see
can
that
hear it,
face.
where I can only hear it when I watch the video. I don't hear it with my ears while it's happening, just
Wow.
when I watch the video.
That's intense.
So
To see the
And
dog, you're right, Rhonda. To make it wasn't angry. It was a displeasing, and the ears fly back, and it actually made that I can't stand this feeling.
Right.
That
So
was
he was hearing it. That
Yeah.
was wild.
that was
Yes.
wild. So before we end up, let's go to one more video because I'm sure we're going to get a lot more. You guys, don't forget January. Michelle's coming back. We're going to continue the paranormal experience. Can't wait. This is going to be awesome. Let's move in to the next video. Michelle, can you walk us up into this one?
This one I learned how to connect with spirit, and some people use a pad and a pen and they like will draw a circle. I learned how to rub my hands together, and you'll see an orb like come through the wall and come out and say hello.
That's very interesting. You using the rubbing of the hands. I'm sure everybody has seen me do that. So let's do it.
Rub my hands together. I know it sounds weird, but it puts me in this state.
Okay,
Rub
let me
my
watch this
hands
a couple.
together. I know it sounds weird, but I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds weird.
Sorry, y'all.
I know it sounds weird. From the closet. I know it sounds weird.
Yeah,
I
you
know
can
it
like
sounds
see it,
weird.
like the wall
but-
lights up.
I know it sounds weird, but
Okay.
That's a good one too. Crazy, huh?
Well, this is again. I'm gonna see what I can see. On my end, of course, I'm looking at it. I've got 2 pages open, and I am for the first time seeing fluctual energy. Now, fluctual energy. What does that mean? Fluctual energy. I'm going to keep this here. We're going to shrink this down. Come back to it. Fluctual energy means it actually is absorbed inside itself. So it's not a solid mass where you see salt, dander, any of the pepper, any of these different types of effects that could be deemed an aura, but they're natural. This does not have that. If you go and when I replay it again, you guys, you can see there's an orbital effect. So it's an orbital. It actually has rotation, so energy. Well, check this out. I'm going to bring it back up, and y'all can see what I'm talking about here. Let me get it right.
I know it sounds weird, but 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 I know it sounds.
This is really intriguing me. This particular video
Well, and
intrigues
because
me.
it comes out, it doesn't like, a lot of times you'll see like something flat. It comes out and it almost goes like this.
Yes,
Like it has a concave to it. Like almost like
it
it's going to
does.
get ready to go in a circle. It's very strange.
And it's really exactly in the I seen it. There you go. That is not like any orb I've seen before. Let me first go on, and I've been doing this a long time. I've never seen an orb with an energy flex like that. All I can tell you at this point is I don't know. I can tell you it's nothing I've seen before. It is nothing that I have tested. I have not seen this pattern before, so this intrigues me. Does this lead me into saying it's paranormal? It is paranormal because I cannot explain it at this moment. Wow. To me, it looks more like Fae. Okay, here we go again with the possible Fae. Rhonda, what do you think
Yeah,
about
I'm
this?
gonna do a little research. The one thing you said that struck me is when you said, the yard was overgrown.
Yes.
And it was, and a lot of times they like it like that, but they want order to it. They want it to look nice. I mean, do you notice that activity picks up more? Like, I have this feeling, and if I'm wrong, but I have a feeling you kind of walk around and talk to them sometimes, right? You give them attention. Do you know when you don't do that, that it picks up? Like that they're trying to get your attention because you're not, because Fae are notated with, it's kind of like if you work with Fae, it's known that if you don't give them offerings or give them attention, they'll start acting up.
Okay.
They'll start hiding your stuff and they'll start doing little things. So that
if you have time
say,
Next video, I think what is a phase in the next video. If you have time for it, it's
Let's
just a
do it.
short one.
You do
It
want to
will
do
come
it?
out
Let's
of
go
the
ahead and do
closet,
it.
and it's great. Wait till you see this next one. The next video is like an angel butterfly or fairy comes out of the closet. And I say, I don't know if I'm going to catch anything today. And there it comes. It's near the end of the video, but check it out. It's amazing.
Let me reload it because I had dropped it down. But let me reload it. And we can get to that. We can get to that one more video.
Yeah.
All right. Come on now. We're going to go back up to.
Yes, ordered chaos, Robert. My shamanic teacher used to keep her grass way overgrown. And she said it's because they like it. But I think they also like it because I have another friend who started working with Faye a little bit, and she kind of made a fairy garden and she kept it tended and nice for them, and they like that, but they like the wild. So I think the fact that it picked up once you did it was almost like they were happy you did it.
Right. And I, cut back the flowers so they would grow and bloom again, because there were some
Yeah.
plants that had been here for a while. And this is inside, and it'll come out of the closet.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get it rolling.
Let's do that again. Here we go.
Wow. Okay. She's doing it on command.
Here we go. No, yeah. Here we go. Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, March 1st, 2024. My name's Michelle. Welcome to my haunted apartment. I don't know if we're going to catch anything today, but here I am.
Whoa.
Here we go.
I've seen that before.
Here we go. Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, March 1st, 2024. My name's Michelle. Welcome to my haunted apartment. I don't know if we're going to catch anything today, but here I am. It looks like it has wings. I don't know if we're going to catch anything today.
That was wild.
Okay.
Is that crazy?
I can tell you right now, some of that, what I just saw, was standard, everyday dust, pet dander. Some of it could have been an insect too. I've seen those patterns studied. That's common. However, this part right here does intrigue me. And you guys, this is just, again, my opinion. And if you would like to put your opinion,
catch anything
please.
Today, but here I am.
That was just like it stopped. It was
weird.
It
stopped. That was the intriguing
part.
Like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, I felt really good about that. It wasn't scary, no, negative anything from it. I felt love, whatever. But a lot of people think that could be a fairy. I don't know. Looks like a butterfly. So I'm not sure what it is, but it's paranormal, whatever it is.
Well, here's where I'm going to step in and say it may not. It may not. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it may not. From my experience and what I've been seeing, and please don't come after me like the Indians coming across the beach at me with Captain Jack Sparrow. I don't need that. However, to me, from the observation of what I've experienced in the past, is that actually looked like a piece of pet fur flying through the air. Now, I'm not saying that's what it is, but based on some of my experiences, that's what it looks like. That doesn't mean that's what it is. That does mean I'm going to look at this a little harder now. But I love this. This is the one thing that intrigues me about this entire video is you're now communicating, and as you start to communicate the activity, these things happen. Now, that, and I'm going to explain that before we end the show. To me, something is taking place because guess what, folks? A lot of paranormal activity does get stirred, and we think we're seeing orbs, etc., because the air has become static. Electromagnetic forces are pushing, and a lot of dust, dander, and all that are statically charged. So if something starts to happen, these particles will move around the air because they're moving on energy bands. and it's moving these particles around. So here's that catch 22. I'm not saying no. And on that one,
I can honestly say you have nothing we have seen tonight made me go, eh.
no,
Everything was like, what's that?
there is.
What's
That's what I'm saying. What is that?
And we're gonna. That's. I think the whole point of what we want to do is try to help you.
Yes.
Give you more
Yeah,
explanations.
any feedback I want to hear. Any answers. I don't know if I'll ever get answers, but
Well,
any feedback is welcome.
at the end of this series, I'm sure we'll be able to hand you a caseload of possibilities and think what's going on. I think that's why I chose to come to Ron and say, let's do this show.
Yeah.
I think this is
you.
something that
This is
everybody's not
making
norm to doing.
Making me pull out my Fae books over Christmas just to refresh myself.
And there you
Yeah.
go. Robert says check for ley lines around the place. Any information that you can add to us before January, that would be great. That'll help us do our own research, look into it, and maybe give you a little bit more guidance and direction. Or I think you're already doing the right thing. I mean, you're communicating.
There's nothing you're doing that makes me go, oh my gosh, you shouldn't be doing that. Other
Nope.
than no negative self-talk about you having negative with you. I don't believe you do.
Right.
But as far as the fact you set boundaries, you talk to them, you do whatever.
No, exactly. I
No, I
completely
can't see
agree.
where you're doing any. I think you're becoming. True investigating over there.
Thank
think
you.
Learning. Yeah, you're using your own location to learn.
Right.
Thank you, Mama
Yeah.
Sue. Yo, you missed a good show, girlfriend. You're going to have to go back and check the archive in this one, but that's okay. We're going to turn this into a series with Michelle, so you're not going to miss a thing. So,
Yeah, sounds great. But the only last thing I can add is I know that this land was settled by a family from Germany called the Llewellings, and they brought grafts from Germany, apple, pear, and cherry trees, and planted them. So there were orchards here. So Germans. And then later off, it was sold and split up and divided into lots, and then houses were built. So, but the land was first settled by some families from Germany. So,
Interesting.
yeah. And as far as I could do a title search, I think that's what they call it, and go from previous owner to previous owner, but it won't tell who rented, just
Right.
who owned the place. So
well,
that
anything you can-
is kind of
yeah.
confusing.
Anything
Right.
you can find and send over to us, that will help us while we work with you on this.
But what we
Right.
would know is if you can tell us like how long it's been there and how long it was rented as apartments, we can almost guesstimate
Yes,
a rough ballpark of how many people might have lived there.
exactly.
Right. Okay.
You
I
got me
will
excited.
get
I'm
some
so
more
glad.
information. Absolutely.
And Michelle, thank you so much for bringing this to us and allowing us to help you as we give the paranormal experiences to everyone out there, travelers and those alike. Please say a wonderful thank you to Michelle Wilfong for being here. You'll see her in January. Rhonda, thank you so much for supporting us. Now, next week, we're going to get a little crazy. I wasn't going to be here because it was Sarah's graduation weekend, but we want to, make sure we're all together in this. I will be on the show next Sunday at
Nice.
7 p.m. That's right, 7 p.m. Sunday night. We're going to be speaking with Boo Bitches about their experiences. So make sure to tune in next Sunday. We're going to get a date for you, Michelle, to come back. We're going to plug the hell out of it and get ready for a little bit more paranormal experience. Travelers and those alike, don't forget to check out all the shows throughout the week right here on the R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. This is the mothership. We will see you on the other side. May virtue be yours.
Be good humans.
Thank you.